Hello and welcome back to Father and Son React to Death Battle. Ghost Rider versus Spawn, Marvel versus Image Comics.
You know,
at least Spawn was like right when you stopped buying comics.
Right. I mean, everybody bought Spawn #1 when Todd McFarlane left and they started up Image. It was,
and its Image still is going on. Like, Image is the reason is like the one that survived out of the whole indie comic boom of the '90s.
Yeah, it's the reason that comic books are not valued at any reason anymore.
Yeah,
because everybody was like, "I got to get this first issue of Spawn. It's gonna be worth a ton of money." Well, everybody bought one. They sold more of that book than anything else.
And you still have? Do you still have a copy?
Yeah, I think I have a copy downstairs.
Yeah.
So,
but what about Spawn as a guy?
You know, I get the concept. I think when I look at between the two, I think Ghost Rider's going to be.
Ghost Rider's going to win.
I
don't want. This is a lame argument, but I do kind of feel like Marvel Universe gets to have the baggage of holding all those years of comics over Ghost Rider beat Mephisto and Spawn beat Malaboja or whoever, but like Mephisto is shown. Look at this issue where Mephisto fought Thanos or something.
Yeah,
right,
I know.
Right?
Well,
like,
wasn't at one point in time Ghost Rider an Avenger?
Yes, he was. I think I don't know if it was Johnny.
Okay, it might have. Yeah,
it might have been one of the other ones.
No, Mr. Blaze.
Yeah. In any case, let's learn.
Let's see, and then we'll do
our prediction.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice.
Ghost Rider versus Spawn.
The Spirit of Vengeance versus the Dark Angel of Armageddon.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Johnny Blaze has always been a man possessed, chasing the thrill of certain doom by performing death-defying stunts, following the example of his adoptive father, Crash Simpson.
Until the day Crash lived up to his name and got cancer, heartbroken, and without enough Wampa fruit to save him, Johnny turned to the only thing that could, chemotherapy.
The devil.
Oh!
To cure Crash's cancer, Johnny sold his soul to Mephisto, king of the 8th layer of hell.
Only for Crash to actually live up to his name right after.
But instead of scooping up Johnny's soul, Mephisto had something else in mind. He bound Johnny to an instrument of divine wrath, Zarathos, the Spirit of Vengeance.
So Johnny Blaze lived up to his name and burst into Hellfire, an undead skeleton biker with a sick-ass hog, the 5th scariest Nick Cage performance, the stuntman from hell.
Only 5th?
He called himself the Daredevil.
Sorry, Johnny, that name's taken.
Okay, then how about the Ghost Rider?
Sure, we definitely didn't forget that we named the character the same thing only 5 years earlier. All you.
The Ghost Rider was bad news for Earth sinners and scumbags. He's strong enough to pull down skyscrapers, blow up mountains, and cause earthquakes that can be felt across whole countries.
Don't even think about fighting back. He can remake his whole body from the hellfire that engulfs him, making him immune to all physical damage. Only holy weapons that target his soul can harm him.
It's not just his body. His whole arsenal is hellfire. Ghosty can create anything he can think of, from an infinite stream of chains, a shotgun packed with fiery rounds, or a flaming missile barfed right out of his mouth. Life goals.
And he can imbue other objects with hellfire, such as his Hell Cycle.
Oh, this badass bike can outpace Thor's hammer Mjolnir, which can cross the universe in seconds.
Hellfire is a weapon in and of
Yeah,
itself, whether shot out of his hands, raining down from the sky, or released from his...
His boner, Wiz. Get it? And it doesn't just scorch flesh. Hellfire is so deadly, it can burn away your very soul.
This technique would be mastered by Johnny's successor, his own brother, Danny Ketch.
Oh yeah, Johnny's not the only Ghost Rider, and Danny was the first to master their most famous move. You know, the one that burns your soul to smithereens with just a look? the Penance Stare.
The Penance Stare inflicts upon its victims every ounce of pain they ever wreaked upon others. Every cruelty, no matter how small or righteous, is reflected back. A biblical punishment.
Obliterating your soul. It even works on other Ghost Riders, like when Johnny and Danny got into a staring contest and Danny actually depowered Johnny.
Eyes are windows to the soul, so the Ghost Rider must be able to match his victim's gaze for the
I guess that's on the camera.
Some people have survived it, like the Punisher supposedly because he didn't regret his actions, but it did work on him on other occasions.
Well, Johnny can adjust how deadly it is, and it doesn't necessarily have to kill you. He can use the stare to read minds, force you to confess info, or just show you the error of your ways.
Remember, the Ghost Rider is two souls in one body, with the kinder Johnny battling the demon Zarathos in a war of control.
Classic Faustian bargain. All the power in the world, but if you want it, it uses you. Because if Johnny gives in, the demon's full might will take over, and then everything is screwed.
Yeah.
Zarathos' strength is boundless. He can open up portals between dimensions, control the elements, pen and stare an entire city, and fly all the way to Asgard, which is a literal infinite distance away.
He's manhandled some of the movie's heaviest hitters, like Thor, World War Hulk, and Doctor Strange. Hell, Strange said Zarathos is a threat to all realms, mortal and immortal.
Hyperbole? Think again. The Archangel Zadkiel said that the power of the Ghost Rider could threaten all of existence, and even bring down heaven itself.
Right before an army of Ghost Riders did just that. Yeah, an army. The spirits of vengeance are legion.
As far back as the Great Flood, humans have been bonded to the vestiges of God's power to act as his divine wrath on Earth. A sort of heavenly Black Ops.
Okay, wait, does that make Zarathos an angel now? Or is he still a demon?
Both? Neither? Despite being one of the greatest entities in existence, it's unclear. What we do know is that ages ago, Zarathos feasted on souls and battled Mephisto for rulership of his realm. Mephisto, ever the trickster, claimed victory and gained control of Zarathos forevermore. Hence how he could bond him to Johnny.
But Zarathos got his revenge against that big red bitch with another Ghost Rider, Alejandra Jones. Bet you wish you had one more day to fix that hole in your chest, huh?
Comic book fan punching bag though he may be, Mephisto is unbelievably powerful. A battle with him could cause omniversal Armageddon, fitting as his fight with Galactus rents the cosmos asunder.
And Galactus' fights can destroy all of Marvel's infinite multiverse. That's the kind of awesome power at Zarathos' disposal. Total cosmic annihilation.
So it was no surprise when Johnny went down to the underworld and took Hell's throne for himself, usurping the devil that ruined his life and finally grabbing destiny by the handlebars.
Scoring the total power of hell itself, plus a sick-ass upgrade, the Damnation Stare, which skips the whole every pain you've ever inflicted thing and just sends you straight to hell. No shot.
As they say though, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Johnny began an obsessive crusade to capture all of Hell's escaped demons. But by using his new power to damn them to hell, he began absorbing their evil, feeding off of it, and it corrupted him. Once again, Johnny Blaze was a man possessed.
In truth, Johnny was just as trapped by Hell's power as he'd always been, and he needed Danny's help to pull him out of the darkness.
Though he gave up Hell's throne, the Ghost Rider continues his war against demons without and within, mentoring his fellow Ghost Riders in the ways of vengeance, always prowling the highways for the evil and the profane.
An unstoppable engine of judgment that, with just a glance, could make Galactus himself shit his pants.
Maybe one day he'll find salvation in the eyes of one of his victims.
As they sure as hell won't find any in his.
Yeah.
This battle is sponsored by Robin Hood
Of
Gold.
course, he's
With
Marvel
Robin Hood
Cosmic.
Gold,
Of course,
yeah,
he's
I know.
Cosmic.
I just
Yeah, like
we knew that if
you like,
match on retirement contributions.
I'm not saying that there's
I'm gonna
not
fight
a
the
lot of
Spectre.
history.
Like-
are no
Yeah.
longer exclusive. With
There's a-
Robin Hood Gold,
there's a
your
lot of
annual
history
IRA
with,
contribution
that's the
Spawn.
thing, right?
boosted
You
by
write something and then
3%.
someone else writes something and then they conflict.
on your cash
Yeah.
That's the nature of
non-retirement
this type of
accounts.
experiment.
That's over 8 times
This
the
type of
national savings
analysis.
average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any network.
The new gold
Like, yeah, Johnny should be able to beat Mephisto. Wait, some other guy said Mephisto could beat Galactus? Like,
sign up at robinhood.com/gold.
Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match
Robinhood.
requires
Robinhood.
$5 a month
talked
for
over
1
it.
year from first
Make
match.
sure you
Must
check
be
it out.
funds in IRA for 5
but
years.
I'm interested in
Go to
Spawn, because I know
robinhood.com/boost.
Spawn also has a
Over
lot
8
of those
times
same
the
powers.
average savings account
like I
interest
said,
rate claim is based on data from
the
the
concept
FDIC as of November
and how
18, 2024.
the story of
Robinhood
Spawn
Financial
is
LLC,
good.
member SIPC.
Spawn is Ghost
Gold
Rider and
membership is
Venom
offered
at the
by
same
Robinhood
character.
You know,
Gold
You know?
I mean, so that's
Yeah.
But I just don't know that the
If Al
cosmic
Simmons
power.
was one thing, he was a killer.
A lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army and the CIA's most decorated assassin, Simmons upheld democracy around the globe at the barrel of a gun, painting the third world in red, white, and blue, but mostly red.
Until his final fateful mission when, per his boss's orders, Al was fired.
The burning was only getting started because Al's immortal soul was on a one-way trip to hell.
Where he cut a deal with Malvosia, the big, naked lord of the 8th Circle of Hell.
By their pact, Simmons would be reborn a Hellspawn, a superpowered commander of Hell's armies, in exchange for seeing his wife one more time.
Oh, buddy, you're just asking to get monkey's pawed.
Al Simmons returned from the dead as a decaying zombie 5 years later, after his wife had already remarried and had a daughter.
There, you saw her. Now get back to work, bitch.
Thus was born the undead warrior from hell itself, Spawn.
He's so 90s that he comes all the way back around to being the coolest thing ever. Look upon his edge wizard and despair.
Spawn would violently defend New York's downtrodden,
Longest running
while
independent
slowly
comic book
uncovering the
character.
full breadth of his demonic powers.
He's like a walking
He's kind of the
superpower
first.
encyclopedia. He can fly,
For
teleport, turn
image.
invisible and intangible, move things with his mind, make force fields, control the elements and the weather, and even stop time. Speaking of time, he can fly so fast, he literally breaks into other dimensions and smashes time as a concept.
He can manipulate matter, shape-shifting his own body or transmuting
There's an
other
immeasurable
bodies.
speed feed.
He can even control and absorb your soul.
Wait, Wiz, if he can rearrange molecules and crap, why doesn't he just fix his uggo face?
Well, he tried to do that, but Malvosia cursed him so that he could only make himself, yeah.
Oh, it's petty trolling like that that
Oh,
gets you
no.
thrown in hell.
To be fair, Spawn can achieve a similar result with illusions and mental manipulation. He can read and control minds, implant and replace memories, or simply drive you mad.
Spawn can do all of this crazy shit because he runs on necroplasm. Basically, hell juice.
You're not wrong. Necroplasm is the energy that makes up hell itself. Al's undead body is composed of 400 pounds of it.
He can wield it like an energy blaster empowered by the sins of others. Spawn can absorb your evil and feed off of it. By simply walking on Earth, Spawn feels all of humanity's pain all at once.
He's even absorbed the sins of 8 million New Yorkers instantly, cleansing them of their evil.
Like Jesus?
Or he can do the reverse and make you experience the full weight of your own sins, feeling every bit of pain you've ever inflicted on others over your whole
Yeah.
life.
Like
It's
some sort of penance.
Though Spawn's necroplasm comes with a catch.
Yeah, he's got a limited amount of the stuff, and it drains every time he uses his powers. If he runs out, he's dragged back to hell.
Even depowered, Spawn can rely on his elite military training in hand-to-hand combat. He's even fought Batman to a standstill.
And as befits his past profession, he loves his big-ass 90s guns.
Though his greatest weapon is the sentient being he's genetically and spiritually bonded to, his cloak. Letha of the 7th House of K.
You ever wonder why his cape's red? Nope, well, now you are, and it's red because it's made from the apple Eve ate in the Garden of Eden. It's literally made of original sin. Oh, and also the souls of a million sinners, including every one of Hell's victims. Also a touch of vampire for good measure.
K7 Letha is constantly evolving. It can act independently to defend Spawn with an infinite stream of chains, transform into weapons, or drain people of their power. It is the most potent weapon Hell has ever created.
It even helped Spawn beat the primordial dark god Urizen, who can destroy and eat your soul with just a glare.
Except the souls bonded to Spawn acted as a buffer, allowing him to survive.
You'd think with an arsenal like that, he'd be unstoppable. But Hellspawns have a weakness to holy weapons and can be killed permanently if decapitated by one.
Though Spawn has managed to survive this in the past. No, Spawn's greatest weakness is his own, how do I put this, stupidity.
So Spawn fought this angel lady, Angela. Great name for an angel. She had this dimensional lance that could wipe Hellspawn out of existence, and Spawn got it. But instead of, being cautious around a mysterious angel weapon that hurts him, he just had to push the big shiny button and activate it on himself.
And so, Spawn was forever destroyed. Until he reconfigured reality to undo his own inexistence.
There we are.
What?
Good as
That's-
new. That has to be the first time we've seen
some weird
someone
loopy shit
accidentally
or
kill
stuff.
themselves
Yeah, you're
and
allowed to
survive.
On his quest as Hell's greatest warrior, Spawn has defeated a serial killer ice cream man, a demonic clown, and even his old boss remade by Heaven into an anti-Spawn. He's even encountered other Hellspawn.
Killing bad guys might seem counterintuitive if you work for a Hell Lord, but it actually just adds more souls to Malvosia's army. An army Spawn would have to lead in a war with Heaven that'd kill all of humanity.
Because the reason Malvolgia chose Al to be his commander wasn't that he was some great warrior. It was because Al had proven that he was the best at taking orders.
All his life and all his death,
Yeah.
Hell was nothing more than a hired gun.
But he knew it, and he would do so no more.
So Spawn marched down to Hell and ripped Malvosia's fucking head off with a scream so loud it echoed through all of reality. Spawn became the king of the 8th circle of Hell.
As king, Spawn is literally a part of Hell itself, gaining access to an unlimited pool of energy that increases 100-fold with every heartbeat. He's effectively omnipotent in there, and strong enough to challenge other Hell Lords like Mammon and Satan.
He got so strong, the only thing left was to finally resolve the war between Heaven and Hell.
But Spawn needed help from the being who created this god and Satan to begin with, the mother of existence, Gaia.
She wasn't cool with her kids being total assholes, so she appointed Spawn to be the universe's savior.
By eating the fruit from the Tree of Life, Spawn became truly divine, capable of battling God and Satan in a stalemate for eternity that extinguished all life on Earth.
And each of them are powerful enough to create and control infinitely sized universes.
Spawn broke the stalemate by letting God and Satan destroy him, only for Gaia to separate the two from the reality they threatened.
Then, just like that time with the Lance, Spawn respawned and recreated the Earth. Poof, good as new.
Finally freed of the weight of heaven and hell, Al asked to be reborn as a human. But he knew in his heart he deserved to carry on his undead penance in perpetuity.
He's a creature of the 90s, Wiz. He won't be happy unless he can angstingly brood over the injustice of his own existence.
Though if you threaten the alley he calls home, beware, because Spawn will turn whatever's left of your life into a living hell.
It's gonna be
This is gonna be some real minutia
If the
stuff
slots are
here.
spinning,
Yeah.
you could
But
be winning.
okay,
Head
so
over to
basically
DraftKings
what this is
Casino and
looking
play the
like
classics
is,
you know and
can
love,
Ghost
or try
Rider
something new
destroy
with
Spawn in a
DraftKings
way where he
exclusive
can't come
games.
back from it?
Plus, new players that give DraftKings
Well,
Casino
no,
a
because
spin
he can
get
always,
200
after he
casino
dies,
spins
or
on a featured
he can
game.
always
Just sign up
recreate.
with
How
hell.
long does it
Battle
take
and
for him to
wager a
come back
minimum
from
of
that?
$5
Like,
to
because
receive
if it's
200
not
casino
instant, it
spins
might not
on a
matter.
featured game.
You know?
Only
Like,
on DraftKings Casino.
I know, but
the crown is yours.
Gambling
I'm still
problem?
gonna
call 1-800
stick with,
Gambler.
Ghost
In
Rider?
Connecticut, help
Ghost
is
Rider,
available for
and
problem
I don't
gambling.
think that
Call
I
that's
will
good.
cautiously go Spawn. I'd be fine with it.
or
I
visit
think
CCP
Ghost
think-
Rider would win,
Please
but I
play
think
responsibly.
Spawn
21
should
plus.
win.
The only
Visit
reason I
Pennsylvania,
You know?
Michigan, New Jersey,
Ghost
Pennsylvania,
Rider
West Virginia
is
only.
because
Only
of,
in Connecticut and Ontario.
just the
Eligibility
history.
restrictions
Yeah.
apply.
There's
New
more-
Like,
customers
there's a
only.
lot of stuff.
Non-withdrawable
Technically,
casino spins
the
valid for
the
featured
Marvel
game only
universe
and
is
expired
bigger than
100
this
hours.
Image
See
universe would
terms
be,
at
right?
casino.draftkings.com/promo.
So,
Yeah, there's
um,
there's probably more books of Spawn
PM Eastern.
than any individual Marvel run.
of
Than a
uh,
Ghost Rider run.
although he has appeared in a lot of
all
others.
possibilities.
It's time for one
Oh, yeah,
hell
DraftKings.
of a death battle!
I'll take Spawn. You'll take Ghost Rider.
Okay, we got it. I think I'm gonna lose,
Nights
but
like these
it's
drive
awesome.
me insane.
they are a lot closer than I really thought at the beginning.
Something's coming. If it wants a piece of me, there'll be hell to pay.
quick hero slide.
Go back to the pit you squirmed from, Hellspawn.
Make me.
If you care, it's nothing personal. Vengeance calls.
This track.
Sloppy, you fight like a bum.
You've earned your damnation.
Oh, there's the stair.
Oh! Hellspawn. Whoa!
Come to hell, motherfucker.
Oh, wow.
Be damned. Yes, you will.
Ghost Rider transformed first.
Yeah.
The vestments of the holy cannot disguise your wickedness. God forbid.
I'm gonna have to listen to this track.
Al Simmons, your sins are innumerable. I am here to wreak vengeance upon your soul. I eat sin for breakfast. Have a taste of your own goddamn medicine.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
like you said, nothing personal, asshole.
Oh shit!
Oh, wow.
I didn't think I would win.
Damn!
I did.
This was a nail biter of a battle that
But-
played Ghost Rider's immeasurable power against
I gotta go
Spawn's
with Ghost
skill and
Rider.
versatility. Let's break
Okay,
this down into
okay.
4 categories.
First up, power. Divine Spawn could match God and Satan, who could create universes. Similar in scale to Ghost Rider's bouts with a lot of the powerhouses in Marvel.
But Zarathos was different. Remember, his power can match that of Mephisto and Galactus, who can threaten all of Marvel's infinite cosmic reality, far greater than any cosmos Spawn has ever affected. Even though Spawn's battles
That's what I
repeated
figured.
Satan
Yeah.
in more recent comics, implying he's retained a level of power similar to his divine form, he couldn't match Zarathos in power alone.
Ghost Rider may take power, but remember, Johnny actively resists Zarathos' influence, so Spawn may have had time in the fight to learn and adapt to Ghost Rider before he went full Blue Fury.
And Spawn definitely had the edge in skill. He spent decades
Yeah.
in military combat
Yeah, I
and is a
figured that.
master martial artist, whereas Johnny more so relies on his invincibility.
The ultimate dream power for a stuntman. Even with his crazy powers, Ghost Rider was a lot more direct than Spawn, pretty much entirely focused on attacking the soul.
Which doesn't bode well for his versatility. Spawn can stop time, manipulate matter, turn intangible, control minds, warp reality. The Ghost Rider had a much more limited arsenal by comparison. Spawn had a huge advantage in this category.
Though with his invincibility, way greater power, and the ability to scorch your soul to nothing, Ghost Rider could score the win through brute force, right?
Not exactly. The last piece of the puzzle is their resistances. Basically, who was harder to kill. Spawn's constant mainlining of humanity's collective sin and pain meant he could survive attacks on his soul, including the penance stare, just like he resisted a very similar attack from Urizen.
Best of all, remember the time he rewrote reality to undo his own inexistence?
I didn't see an easy way for
overpower that.
For
and that
Ghost
time
Rider
with the
to
lance
counter
wasn't
that.
planned, it was purely instinctual. He could replicate it any time he wanted, like in his fight with God and Satan.
So how do you put Spawn down for good? Well, you can't. At least Johnny and Zarathos couldn't.
Unlike how Ghost Rider's soul has been vulnerable to attack before, like when Danny used the penance stare to depower Johnny.
This sort of thing actually happens a lot, even in recent comics. The whole reason Johnny and Zarathos are bonded in the first place is because Zarathos' soul was manipulated by Mephisto.
And not only does Spawn have plenty of experience manipulating souls, he can replicate the effect of the penance stare itself.
And just think about that. A penance stare on Zarathos would mean he's feeling the pain from every penance stare that he's ever done. A penance squared.
The damnation stare, on the other hand, actively helped Spawn, sending him to hell where he gets a literal infinite power boost.
And it wasn't just Spawn's soul powers that had spelled trouble. He had other ways to bypass Ghost Rider's immortality too, like transmutation, rewriting reality, or just straight up stealing his powers, which has worked on multiple Ghost Riders in the past.
Giving Spawn the final
I
edge.
feel like you can make an
Zarathos
argument
was
either
almost
way,
unbeatable,
but I'm
a
okay with
massive
this.
power
Yeah,
advantage.
no,
You know,
like I
I
said,
feel like you
immortality,
can
but
simply
Spawn
say
could
that
counter
Ghost Rider is
everything
way
thrown at him.
stronger.
I
And was
kept
too
up with
unkillable
my
for Zarathos'
initial
strength advantage
just
to matter
more
in the long
my
run against his
character
crazier
for
abilities.
Marvel
That
over.
was one hell of a fight, and at least Johnny went out in a blaze of glory.
The winner is Spawn.
Next time on Death Battle.
What is it?
What do we got?
Oh, yep. Hey. I thought this was coming.
Another.
Subscribe and
Hey,
join
we
us
should
members
finish
to
My
see
Hero.
more Death
Yeah.
Battle. Thanks for watching.
Okay. No, it worked out the way I kind of thought that it
I
might after we
was
saw
surprised.
the
I
breakdown.
am on that Marvel upplay train. I was just telling you the other day how I think that Marvel is as strong as DC. I don't think that it's necessarily as as what people think, as Marvel being weaker.
No, but
You know?
that was a fun one because
I
kind of
want to listen to that track. I'll
took
definitely
some-
watch that fight again. That was sick.
Yeah, definitely 90s rock.
Oh
or
yeah, skeletons on fire.
So, don't forget,
Robin Hood and
DraftKings.
And DraftKings.
Yeah. We always
and
talk
and
over
don't
it.
forget, we'll see you guys in a month, 4 weeks. That's when these usually come out for Shigaraki versus Mahito. Dad knows one of those guys.
Yes.
And I know both of them. And I think it'll be good. So one evil angry guy match to another evil guy angry match.
Yeah.
You know?